Post-game jingle, baby. Let's go!
Postgame. Postgame. Calling all Met fans, come and join us now. Talking about this game and gonna break it down. It's Mets Postgame.
Yes! 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 Guys, Wardy, don't cry. It's okay to cry. I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying so hard. And I don't care if there are people watching this saying, wow, this schmuck literally is an emotional roller coaster. I know I am one. Wardy, it's been a long road, but they did it. They did, John. Thank you for the donation. John was a pessimist a lot of the time because the boys didn't give him a reason to be excited. How can you not be excited about this Mets team? We're headed to the NLCS! History is proving true. The Phillies were 0-7 after dropping Game 1 of a series in postseason play. Make that 0-8, baby! I'm sorry, but time for a little bit unhinged Wardy. I hate those Phillies. I hate filthy Philly with everything in me. Those schmucks, sayonara, bye-bye. Head back home, baby. Oh, my God. Ah! Peter, what a season. Cheers. Appreciate the donation. Thank you. Hey, Lavelle says, Todio, you gotta believe and keep the faith, baby. LGM. LGM indeed, hey, Lavelle. Thank you so much for that. The boys, as I mentioned earlier, and I'll say it again, for the first time since 2015, and for the first time in Mets team history, they have clinched NLCS berth at home, at Citi Field, with the crowd roaring. Even with Edwin Diaz not being able to throw a strike for his first 10 pitches, it didn't matter. To strike out Kyle Schwarber, to send them home packing for the final at-bat. You got nothing from Trey in his final at-bat. You got nothing from Harper in his final at-bat. Nicky C had a single, so he showed up. But oh my God. Oh my God. There is no mercy for anyone. There is no mercy for anyone. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. We're headed to the NLCS. Pinch yourself. Smack yourself. Do whatever you need to do to realize we're headed to the NLCS, baby! David Pearson was amazing in this ball game. David Pearson was sensational in this ball game for the Mets. David Pearson was jaw-dropping for the Mets in this game. 2.1 shutty, had a massive double play ball that we saw there towards the end of the ball game, which was like without that double play ball, who knows what happens in the 7th inning. For David Pearson to get that massive double play, the amount of massive outs that we even saw early from Jose Quintana before all those counts went 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, where he was going behind on batters. Then he gives up the double to Harper. Reed Garrett doesn't do any favors, and then we see David Pearson come in the ball game. David Pearson is proving to be one of the most reliable pitchers for the Mets and their organization, continuing to do exactly that. And now what we see here, folks, on the sake of what's happening with the offense, listen, the Mets had so many opportunities. They out-hit the Phillies again 8-4. And this is the first game and the entire NLCS series that the Mets did not score at least 6 runs. All they needed was Slam Cisco to be the difference maker, and he was exactly that. AJ with the $2 haul, thank you so much. Back in the New York groove. I'm back in the New York groove. Yeah! Hype me up, baby! Bang! Ow! 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 Guys, this game. Listen, this is the same game that had the following sequence. Let me enlighten you. Okay, come close, everybody. Let me enlighten you. Let me tell you what you gotta say. Let me tell you what you got here, rather, not what you want to say. Mark, I love you. Thank you so much for the donation. I'm screaming around, but nothing can compare to you. That's okay. You don't need to lose your voice. You don't need to end your life by a couple years by acting in the way that I do. I love you. Yes, I am Papa Wardy Anthony. I love you, too. We see Pete with the $5 house. Says, LFGM, thanks, Rory, for all you do, especially for putting up with the bipolar Mets fans like myself. It's okay. It's going to happen, and I love you guys all to death. It does not matter. But, guys, this is the same Mets team. This is the same Mets team that won today. After in the first, you see Vientos rip a one-out double, Nimmo with a walk, Alonso with an infield single, and they do nothing. JDM and Iglesias strike out back-to-back terribly there in the first. And the second, we see the Mets get Marte on with a walk. You see Tyrone with a single. Alvey then strikes out there. Lindor with a K, but Vientos gets on with an infield single. It's bases loaded, 2 outs in the second, and the Mets do nothing with it. We advance later on the ball game. The Mets would get themselves more runners on base. He got Lindor a double off the curve because he went out and got it there, going down the third baseline, finally catching up to what they're throwing this way. Let me screenshot this donation quick so I don't miss it, everybody. Just give me 1 second. Hey, Jack, I really appreciate that a lot. Thank you, thank you. But this is the same Mets team that stranded 2 on with no out between Lindor with the walk. Vientos then, gets on with a walk after the Lindor double. Cherry, much happiness. Thank you for the donation. The Mets strand runners at first and second with no outs. They couldn't even get the runners over for the most part there. A couple innings after stranding, bases loaded back to back. And then you see this Mets team finally gets another key opportunity. We advance there to the 6th inning where the magic happens. In the 6th inning, everyone wanted JD Martinez out for Jesse Winker. And what does JDM do? He would be the plate setter. JDM gets on right away that we see there with a single. It turns into basically a double. He gets a second base on a wild pitch. Huge there for JDM. Then we see Tyrone Taylor with a walk. Again, that walks the bases loaded with no out. And then after we see Alvarez with a fielder's choice because JD Martinez would be out there at home. Easy play because Alvarez had a little bit of the infield dribbler. Carlos Estevez, the most dominant reliever this series for the Phillies. Without question, the most dominant reliever for the Phillies in this series. The only man to basically shut down the Mets comfortably in 2 outings in this NLCS matchup. All he needs is to make sure he doesn't give up a grand slam. And what does this dummy do? He throws 100 gas down the pipe to the most valuable player in all Major League Baseball. And Francisco, no slam Cisco, Lindor, he rips it, baby. He sets it. I told you all. He's batting from the left side of the plate for the first time today after finally getting that curveball down the third baseline on the Southpaw Ranger Suarez. He finally beats him. He's feeling good. He's getting confidence. He gets his first at-bat from the left side. Lindor, he sets. He's calm, cool, and collected. The triple C's here, WardyNYM, and he sucks it. It's high. It's far. And it is gone. Slam Cisco gives the Mets a 4-1 lead. Gives the Mets NLCS play. Let's effing go, baby. Hype me up. Shout out to everyone that has been part of the way for Mark Vientos. Even with the defensive miscues, his offense has been tremendous. He has been amazing. Jesse Winker didn't play today, but he was a pivotal aspect of this run to this point. JDM did what he needed to do to be productive to a degree. So many guys. Even Pete Alonso, I know he didn't do anything crazy today. That's okay. Because you know what? It's okay if the polar bear doesn't hit a home run opposite field for a 4th straight game. Because what matters most is that the Mets win this ball game. And Francisco Lindor, the man who put the team on his back, the man who said even after Edwin Diaz there faltered 7-6 after the Mets rallied for a 6-3 lead in the 8th inning of Game 1 of their doubleheader, he responds brilliantly that we see with a go-ahead 2-run shot to give the Mets a huge victory. If it isn't for Francisco Lindor bringing the Mets into postseason play with his MVP heroics, none of this happens. If it isn't for Francisco Lindor today with his MVP heroics, this doesn't happen. So to any of those fair weather schmucks in LA who are about to get bounced by the Padres, let me enlighten you. Does Shohei Ohtani play defense? No. Does Shohei Ohtani still bags in home runs? Yes. Is he amazing? He's a unicorn. We all know it. But here's the thing. Has Shohei Ohtani carried the Dodgers the way that the Mets have been carried by Lindor, being 11 games below 500? I'm going to go on a limb and say the Dodgers were never 11 games below 500. I'm going to go on a limb and say that Shohei Ohtani doesn't play defense. I am going to go on a limb and say that no player in Major League Baseball has done what Francisco Lindor just did. He is not only our hero, he is not only our captain, but by God is he our leader and our most valuable player. Slam Cisco, the party's just getting started. Buckle up, everybody. Get set, because now we're headed to the NLCS, baby. Lock in. Woo! My God. Alex, thank you so much for the $5 holla. Hope the Mets made a bunch of new fans. Get on board. Building a championship, baby. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Give me 1 second, everybody, as I'm just going to do something real quick here. I apologize if I lag heavy. I shouldn't lag much, but if I do just a little bit, I apologize for that from each and every one of you. Bear with me 1 second as I'm just going to pull up something right here, right now, that needs to be done at this very moment, right here, right now. And let's do exactly that. We're going to put it up right now. Oh my God, guys. This team is so special. So special. Because here's the thing. Even in games where you think they're out and they're not going to come back. Even in games where during the regular season, when the Mets blow all those endless opportunities with runners in scoring position, you for certain think that that there's no coming back. Not this Mets team. The resilience is uncanny. The performance, the execution is brilliant. And mind you, even with their lack of hitting with runners in scoring position, they still got on base so consistently on Ranger Suarez and this Philadelphia Phillies team. This Phillies team couldn't even step anywhere close into being in the same realm as the Mets. And you had to hear those schmucks on FS1 tell you how much and how the Phillies need to rally back here, how they need to get this done. But no, they don't get it done. Because why? The Mets are the team of destiny. The Mets are the top dog to come out of the NLCS this year. And a year where the Braves dealt with their injuries. And a year where the Phillies, again, were riding high in a lot of ways, had their struggles throughout the summer. This Mets team has not only been resilient, but as a fan messaged me yesterday and said it best, they have overcome more adversity than any team in postseason play. Why is this so important? Because when you overcome this much adversity, that tells you that amazing things are going to happen. And what are those amazing things going to be now? The NLCS play is what those amazing things are going to be. Everybody, spam the W's in the live show right here, right now, as I get something set up. Give me 1 second. Spam them, everybody. Spam those W's. This team, oh my God, Carlos Mendoza is getting ready to pop the bottles again. What a stud. What a stud. We gotta love it, everybody. Pop him, baby. Pop him. If you got him, you gotta pop him. It's as simple as that, baby. If you got him, you gotta pop him. That's all you gotta do. I love that. Many just said Francisco Lindor told me Mets Nation. It's because of you guys. Pop those bottles, baby. Hype me up. Yes. 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 Thank you guys for the donations. I appreciate them. We got Alex. Hope the Mets made a... Oh, I answered that already. Thank you so much for that, Alex. You're a beauty. Oh, my God. They're popping the bottles, everybody. I want to show you them popping the bottles. Actually, let me see if I can. I might be able to. I might be able to pull it up on X right now. Hold on, everybody. I gotta show you. NLCS. Guys, we got Pete. We got Pete chugging beers and dancing. He's standing up. Guys, look at Pete. Look at Pete. Standing up in the back there. What a stud. He was just pounding him. Shout out to Jesse. My God, I love Jesse Winker. I love this entire team. Rick, thank you for the donation. I'm glad SpongeBob finally showed up and put his foot through the boat. I'm so glad he did that too, Rick. I'm so glad he did. I'm so glad you're bringing up that reference later on the show like this. This Mets team, man, they're so special. Now, what do we have to focus on? What's next for this Mets team? Is it Padres? Is it LA? We just saw the Dodgers literally just said that they're not having Freddie Freeman for tonight's game. In a do-or-die game, the Padres looking like the team to beat, as we know. We'll be watching closely, obviously. And tomorrow, we will be back live to break down a complete preview of the NLCS if the Padres do advance tonight. If not, then we will preview it in a couple days when that series eventually ends. This team, guys, this team, I cannot get over them from top to bottom. Everything that they did was exactly what they needed to do. Listen, it wasn't the sexiest win. It was far from the prettiest one. But they did the simple thing, guys. They got the job done. They got the job done. That's what we're here for. The heading from Lindor, the composure from Francisco Lindor, The composure from David Pearson. The composure from Jose Quintana. Mind you, Jose Quintana was behind every single count for pretty much 2 innings. And even when Jose Quintana was behind every single count for 2 innings, he still only gave up 1 unearned run in 5 innings. George, thank you for the $20 holla. That really means a lot, my man. Really appreciate that. Love you, my man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, my God, guys. What a ride. What a ride for the Amazons right here, right now. Give me 1 second, everybody. Let me make sure that I have this pulled up, and then I'll be good to go. Oh, my God. Wow. Guys, help us get it 700 likes. We're 100 away. Continue to smash those buttons. Thank you so much. Thank you for being the Phillies. Now I hope you get swept in the NLCS. That's okay. It's okay. Go after yourself too, Kevin. We love you. D with the $5 howl says, I always thought the Phillies were suspect. I thought so too, especially after the Mets did what they did after what we just saw over the past number of games. The Mets took 3 out of 4 at Citi Field against the Phillies. They lost 2 out of 3 in Philly. And even when they lost 2 out of 3, the Mets beat themselves. They were up like 4-5-0 in game 2 of that series. I was in attendance for that game. Sevy gave up 2 home runs. Danny Young comes in to pitch the 6th. Why? Because it was idiotic is why. Or the 7th. He allows runners to get on. Reed Garrett comes in. At least a run comes in. And then the Phillies ultimately rally back and win that ball game because of what? Cody Clemens, the schmuck that is him. Or I think Cody Clemens for the Phillies. Then we see the next day the Mets don't hit and they lose 2-1 to Christopher Sanchez. David Pearson was brilliant, but the offense was non-existent. Not the case, everybody. Not the case. Babs, thank you for the kind words on the stream. I appreciate that, everybody. Thank you all so much, everyone chiming in live on a replay as we live react together in real time to the Amazons doing the deed, getting the job done, now finding themselves headed to NLCS play. It was a tremendous job by the Mets in this series total. I mean, listen, even when you didn't have the best team with runners in scoring position, and even when Edwin Diaz was absolutely god-awful there in the 9th inning, at least to start, it thankfully was a non-factor. Guys, the Mets finished this ball game 3 for 15 with runners in scoring position. They left 10 on base. Who was the lone man to step up? Who was the lone man to be there when we need him most? Listen, I know we got 2 hits from Mark Vientos. I know that we got some hitting as well from a couple other guys in the lineup as we look up and down. Tyrone Taylor had a key hit we saw earlier. Lindor had a key first hit. But it's a grand slam by Francisco Lindor, which is so fitting. It's the icing on the cake. It's a perfect story that continues to write itself that no one, and I mean no one, could try to write without watching it live in real time for the first time. No one can predict the way that things have went for the Mets. Not a single person, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Jojo, thank you so much for the $10 holla. I appreciate you, my friend. Happy to have you in here. Let's effing go, Mets girl. Let's ride high the same way that the boys are riding high. Now heading into LCS play, baby. I'm just feeling electric right now. Now I'm going to post this right away. Let's get this going. Let me put that private 1 second. Give me 1 more second, everybody, and then I'm locked and loaded. I'm ready to go. Literally, Nemo just said, like, if you wrote this story, no one would believe it. And I couldn't agree more, because no one, how can you believe this? It's insane. It's actually insane. I cannot wait to do my S&Y segment tomorrow. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I am so effing excited to do that tomorrow at Brandon, London. We are going to chop it up, and I'm going to have an absolute blast. Wow, Nemo getting choked up talking about Lindor, saying that he's one of the best people I've ever known. He's the complete example, the embodiment of what it means to be a true leader. I mean, you can't ask for anything better. You can't ask for praise anything better like that. My God, he's so special. He really is. AZ, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate the absolute dog that is Francisco Lindor. Absolutely. Absolutely. Give me 1 second, folks. Appreciate the patience. Alright, folks, let's see what we got from me. AZ, the absolute dog that is Francisco Lindor, my Puerto Rican king, our franchise player. Mets effing win, baby. Put in the mother effing books. Hype me up, my man. Thank you. Shadow, thank you so much for being an amazing member of 19 months. We love you, my man. So happy to have you in here. Jojo, thank you for the donation earlier. Going to find Evan. Oh, go ahead, Alex. Have a great one, my man. We appreciate you. The Mets won this one brilliantly, folks. My God, just what a game. What a game by the boys. I can't get over it. I really can't. I legit cannot get over this. Folks, before we wrap it up, I am going to do a complete recap of this ball game for each and every one of you, and then we're going to call it quits because my back is absolutely barking up, and oh my God, I just can't get over it. I can't get over them right now. I really can't. Oh my God. So good. All right, folks, let's break it down to a T. How this game started, ended. There was a lot that transpired in it. So I know, especially for my people that just want to know a bit about the recap, let's go through this together. Let's go through every emotion together again. In the first inning, Schwarber strikes out, Trey with a fly out, and Harper there with a strikeout does it. King quotes, thinking for the $5 house, says, the new ownership create a winning culture. I feel great about the future. Plus, we have a lot of dogs in the farm system. Damn right we do. D-Mac with a $5 house says, Philly unwashed fan base banished back to the abyss from whence they came. Absolutely, T-Mac. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. But as we see here, a quick 1-2-3 for Jose Quintana in the first. He was dealing early. He looked very good. Thank you guys for the donations. Love you all. We see then, folks, Vientos with a 1-out double. Nemo with a walk. Alonso with an infield single. The Mets had bases loaded in this one, but Iglesias and JDM struck out terribly to end it. In the second, Nick Castellanos with a pop-out. Bowen with a ground out. JT Realmuto with a walk. And that does it, thankfully. We escaped the jam. In the bottom of the second, Marte gets on with a leadoff walk. Tyrone with a single. Alvey with a bad strikeout. Lindor with a bad strikeout. Vientos with an infield single. The Mets have bases loaded for his second consecutive inning. And Nimmo grounds out poorly there to first base to end it. We see Weston Wilson with a line out in the top of the third. Brandon Marsh with a ground out, and Kyle Schwarber with another strikeout. Schwarber struck out at least 3 times today. What a effing bum he is. Have fun enjoying your offseason, buddy. Can't relate. Sayonara, sucker. Bob of the third. Pete Alonso with a walk. Iglesias strikes out again. JDM with the double play, then ends it. In the fourth, Trey with a ground out. Harper with a walk. Nicky C with a double. Bohm with an RBI on a fielder's choice because of Mark Vientos' defensive error. And again, Vientos just bobbled it. He tried to make the quick infield play. Couldn't happen. JT flies out. Stop flies out. Phillies are up by 1. Marte with a strikeout on a borderline strike call. There were some very questionable calls for the in favor of the Mets more than anything this ball game. I noticed the Mets did get more calls than the Phillies. I'm 100% certain of that, because I was screenshotting and following, going back to game 1 of this series where there were 11 blown calls against the Mets is the same way. I've been trying to keep it even keeled. So when the Mets get luck, when things go in their favor, I've been talking about that as well. Look at this sweat, guys. That is a sweat line pouring through. I'm drenched, as you could expect, after I've been screaming my head off for the past 4 hours, covering the game, end game with each and every one of you. 1,000 concurrent viewers. You guys are amazing. And everyone watching our post-game coverage live on a replay, you guys are absolutely the best. But we saw there the Taylor fly out, and then we got to, okay, let's just advance to the 5th. In the bottom of the 5th, we see Lindor with a leadoff double there, who gets down, finally gets that curveball in which Ranger Suarez had his first 6 strikeouts on the day, all with that same exact pitch. No Mets hitter could catch up to that curveball down in his zone whatsoever. Lindor goes out, he makes the adjustment, and the MVP that he is, he goes out and he gets it. Just like that, Lindor rips a double down the third baseline. The Mets have a runner in scoring position. Vientos would have walked 2 on, no out here, and they strand them without scoring a run. Nimmo strikes out in what was a good grind of an at-bat, I will say. Hoffman comes in. Alonso strikes out because he froze there on a called strike down and in. Iglesias with a dribbler ends it. As we then head to the top of the 6th, Harper with a double, his first hit off of Jose Quintana. And that would be Quintana's final line, who gave the Mets 5 strong innings of 1 earned run baseball. 1 unearned run, rather. The run charge of Vientos there that we saw on Babs. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. Sean will get to your donation in a second. But let's reel back in here for a second, everybody, because then we see Nicky Seek have himself a strikeout on Reed Garrett. Steve Cohen just said we're going to California. I know, I can't wait, baby. So pumped, so pumped. All I know is this is going to be interesting how the time zones are going to be now for the East Coast to the West Coast games, because again, this is a best of 7 series, I believe, right? So this is going to be interesting, very interesting. Who do I want to play next? The Dodgers. The Dodgers is who I want to play, which is why I expect to play the Padres. If I'm picking between the two, I don't really want to play either, but just based on kind of how they're constructed right now, I'm more fearful of the Padres. They are a team of destiny as well. They've been riding high all year long. The Dodgers have been decimated with injuries. They are a broken team 100%. Freddie Freeman isn't even playing for them tonight. So yeah, I would say the Dodgers, but we're likely going to play the Padres, barring changes. We'll see. No less, everybody, as we see here, as we break down more, Alonso throws Iglesias, okay, Nicky C with the strikeout, Bohm then with a walk, and JT Realmuto strikes on the foul tip. David Pearson then comes in the ball game, and he gets a huge ground out on Bryson Stott to end the inning for the Mets, gets out of that jam. In the bottom of 6, JD Martinez does JDM things, and he gets on with a single. After that single, he gets a second base on a wild pitch. After the wild pitch, Marte with a hit-by pitch. Tyrone Taylor then gets on with a bases-loaded walk, and then with no outs, and this is where the Mets finally pounce. After Francisco Alvarez is out on fielder's choice and JDM is out at home, we see Francisco slam Cisco rip that grand salami to right to give the Mets their 4-1 lead off of Estevez, the best, the most dominant reliever the Phillies could throw out there against this Mets team this series. In the top of the 7th, David Pearson gets out of a jam with a tremendous double play to end the inning. Alonso with a double, Iglesias with a walk, and that's all she wrote in the 7th. And the 8th, Trey Turner strikes out in his final at-bat of the year like the bum that he is. Harper grounds out for his final at-bat like the bum that he is. Nicky C singles because Nicky C is a dog, and I love his personality more than anyone else on that team, funny enough. But that's all she wrote. And the 9th, Edwin Diaz walks JT. He walks Stott. He gets a big strikeout on Clemens. He gets a huge out, a pop out there on Marsh or so, and that then does it. Gets the strikeout on Kyle Schwarber to win the ball game. Final score 4-1. Edwin Diaz couldn't command the strike zone at all. There was one call that didn't go in favor of him, but the first 8 to 10 pitches he threw were all balls. I'm not joking. He got a very generous strike call that was a clear ball top of the zone. Then he finally had a pure strike there to Clemens down the pipe, and that's what changed the narrative. That's what helped Edwin get in a groove, and that's what helped the Mets now found themselves an NLCS play, baby. Oh my God, this team, man. If you guys enjoyed the coverage, be on the lookout. I will have a segment with SNY New York Post on their socials and on their YouTube channels. I don't know if it's going to go on SNY's main YouTube channel or just on New York Post Sports. Either way, check it out. It will be out between probably 1 and 2 tomorrow. If I had to guess, recording is at noon. Prior to that, I have a Bleacher Report segment for you guys, as I'll be hosting a segment about a really awesome baseball game that many of you guys know, and it is an OG. It is what many deem as the OG game that we're going to talk about. So be on the lookout in the Bleacher Report app. Just go to the MLB section general, and you guys will see Wardy chopping up at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So, and then you'll see the SNY at New York Post segment a little bit later, and we will be live later in the evening then to talk more about, let's say the Padres win. How do we preview the NLCS play? We see some donations here. Let me address them before I get out of here. Sean with the $5 holla says, LFGM, we did it, man. This team is so special, man. I was so happy the Mets cured my depression. I love Lindor. I'm naming my first kid after him at the Phillies. At the Phillies, indeed, Sean. Thank you so much for the donation. I love you too, brother. Thank you kindly for that one. Stephen A. with the, oh my goodness, Stephen A. with the $100 holla. You're way too generous, brother, but I greatly appreciate that. Love you, Stephen A. Thank you so much. Hey, Tyler WardyNYM, LFGM, put respect on our boy MVP, the man, Francisco Lindor. He's worth every year, and we have him. The man, the myth, the legend, the Mets are for real. Thank you so much, Stephen A. God bless, brother. Really appreciate that donation. I never asked for them, but they are always appreciated. That is how we stay afloat as the #1 Mets platform here on YouTube. That is how we do our coverage. And now the boys are going to have a nice breather. We have off days until Sunday, baby. Until Sunday. Your boy Wardy can rest his back a little bit from standing up for 4 hours straight and bouncing around, screaming his head up. He can get his voice back for you. Oh, baby. Now I hope the Dodgers win tonight. I pray the Dodgers win tonight. Anything to make it more difficult for whoever we play in the NLCS. But with Freddie Freeman not playing, I have a feeling the Dodgers are going to drop this one. We'll see, everybody. We will see. Steven, thank you for the donation. I love you so much. My God. This team is so special, everybody. They really are. And I love you guys to death. I'm going to wrap up the live show now, folks. I'm going to get some things chopped up. I might post a video of my further stream reactions from tonight's game, so be on the lookout for that. If that doesn't come out tonight, that'll come out tomorrow for each and every one of you. What an amazing ride for this Mets team. And they still got more hills to climb. Just as Howie Rose famously said after Stephane Matteau scored that triple overtime winner against Martin Brodeur and the New Jersey Devils. I apologize to my Devils fans. I just upset it, but I also don't really care because I hate the Devils. Having said that, and we got one more hill to climb, baby. We got two more hills to climb. But let's see if the boys can go out and do that the same way that they have rewritten history to this point. Michael, thank you for the kind words. I love you so much. Is this real life, Nathan? It doesn't feel like it. It really doesn't. I love you guys. Let's effing go Mets, baby. I'll see you back tomorrow with more Mets discussion because the boys' season is just getting started. Love you guys. Let's effing go Mets. Before we get out of here, one more time for the people in the back. We got to do it. One more time. One more time.
Postgame. Postgame. Calling all Met fans, come and join us now. Talk about this game and gonna break it down. It's Mets Postgame.
Shout out to my guys Greg and Jordan with the official NLCS edition, NLCS clinching edition of WardyNYM post-game coverage. I'm out of here. I love